I welcome you all in the new session of economics, which is related to both secondary as well as senior secondary level. In this session, we are going to discuss about market and market structures. To explain you more in a very interactive mode and more convenient mode, we have invited this time our guest, our expert, Dr. KB Singh, Associate Professor, BIMTech, Noida. Today he is going to discuss all about market, and along with him I am also going to share some portion of economics which is again related to market only. To start with, first of all, I just hand over the very beginning session of market, that is importance of market, meaning of market, to Dr. KB Singh. Dr. KB Singh.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chugh. First, before we discuss about the market structures, let's understand what is the meaning of market. As everybody, like say the learners and us go to the market to buy many products and also to avail many services, what is common in all those products and services are that we are as a buyer and the other person who are the sellers gives the services, they sells the products. So the market can be defined as a place. Nowadays it's not only the place, it is virtual place also. Through internet we can buy and sell. So therefore market is a place where buyers and sellers meets. A market is a mechanism, it's a interaction where the buyers and sellers comes together. The sellers supplies the products and services, whereas the buyers pays for those products and services. They increase their utility through the products and services. For a capitalist economy like India and most of the developed economies like US and all, market mechanism is very important. The reason being is the central problem of most of the economy is that the resources are limited. The constraint of the resources, the limitedness of the resources makes the various users of resources to make a choice where should we allocate the resources. For example, say where should we put say for example wheat, which can be used for many say to make many products. For example, flour to make rotis, chapatis. For example, bread to make the breads, and similarly the wheat can be used for many other as the input for many other outputs. Therefore, we must decide how much to allocate to the various say industries, to the various households and so on. So market mechanism entails, it gives the facility to have a better allocation of resources.
The very important feature as discussed by Dr. KB Singh, market does not means, or it is not necessarily to a place, it is necessarily for buyers and sellers to present there, and they should have very strong negotiation and interaction for the sale and purchase of a commodity. Mind it, the price of a commodity is decided by the buyers and sellers through very strong, through very, we can say, motivated interaction between buyers and sellers. See, market again, if I talk about market again a mechanism. Mechanism means, for example, today if I want to buy anything, suppose I want to buy an RO, I just go and knock the door of many brands, and once I am comfortable with the brand, I'll go and decide ki I have to purchase this thing. And nowadays sellers are also, every time they are after us, they will send us, they will just call us, they will send us their catalog, they will send us some sales representative to give the demo. Even just take an example of car. If you want to buy a car, you just give a call to any car dealer, he just send his sales representative with guardian, with car to give a demo, test drive, and there are so many things. So market means it is a mechanism where both buyers and sellers, they have to have so many things to discuss and to decide and to come to the conclusion whether to buy or sell. Another important thing, there must be a buyers and sellers. Buyers means Market is because of people. Market is because of we people. We are here and there are some producers. And whatever goods and services are available in the market, that we people only demand, and we people are only here to purchase and sell. Among us only somebody is a seller and somebody is a buyer. So in all, market is a mechanism. There must be buyers and sellers. There must be goods for which we are here to interact, for which we are here to discuss, for which we are here to negotiate. And then there should be a dealing, there should be a purchase and sale. So this is all about the very important features of market. To discuss about the flow of goods and services, to discuss about the nature of market and the extent of market or the degree of market, I request again Dr. KB Singh to discuss about the further things which is related to the flow and which is related to competition. Dr. KB Singh.
Okay, Dr. Chugh, what you discussed just now about the buyers and sellers, I would like to add one more thing. The buyers are the person who create demand. So, and the sellers are the people or the organizations who create supply. So market is the interaction of the demand and supply also. So demand comes from the buyer and the supply comes from the sellers. The whole demand and supply can be viewed also as a circular flow of economic activities. The main economic activities are: one, production; second, the investment; and third is the consumption. Production are done by mainly the industries or the companies. Investments are done by the households and the companies as well, both. And consumptions are mainly done by households and then the industries. Households would be consuming the main primary products and also the products which are the outputs of the industry. So this whole comes as a circular flow of economic activities. As you can see, the whole chain, the household supplies the inputs. Say for example, a farmer would grow wheat and that wheat becomes the input for the industry. This, in addition to the inputs, the household would also supply the labor. So labor, wheat and other factors of production together would be used for production. This production, the outputs would be taken as the consumption activities for the households, and then if there are some saving, then saving would accumulate as investments and would be invested again for further production. So this whole circular flow can be viewed as the inputs and outputs market. Input market, one input can be the output for other, the other output can be the input for the other. For example, wheat can be the primary input for the household, whereas it can be the output for the farmers. Right? If we discuss about the degree of competition, based on the degree of competitions, the market, which is very ideal situations which are studied for the idealistic cases, are the perfect competitions where there are a lot of number of buyers and sellers. And then if we keep on decreasing the number of buyers and sellers, so we have the other types of market called as monopolistic, oligopoly and then monopoly. So in the extreme two ends, we have perfect competition and the monopoly. Our focus of today's session is to understand these two extreme cases. And then the between two cases, oligopoly and monopolistic, are the mixture of both perfect competition and the monopoly. Right? Dr. Chugh would explain the definition, the features of the perfect competitions and also the examples of the perfect competition.
Dear learners, again I want to just want to clarify you कि market on the basis of competition are: number one, perfect competition; number two is imperfect, or you can say number two is monopolistic; and oligopoly, duopoly. This is one. This is imperfect. Imperfect means duopoly, oligopoly and monopolistic. And third is monopoly. In your books, in your self-learning material, market on the basis of competition is giving very clearly perfect, monopoly and monopolistic. This is, so we are also covering as per your book structure only. You should remember these things only, कि on the basis of competition, market is divided into perfect, monopoly, monopolistic and oligopoly. In this session, we are going to discuss only two structures, perfect and monopoly. First of all, I am going to cover perfect competition. Perfect competition, before I start, you should be very clear about this thing कि perfect competition is a very imaginary situation. I just explain you this with a story, with a very interactive story. There are two farmers, Ram and Rahim. Both are engaged in agricultural activities, that they are producing potatoes. They are exclusively engaged in agricultural activities only. Ram and Rahim both are producing potatoes. Underline this thing, potatoes means if Ram is producing potatoes and Rahim is also producing potatoes, and if they dumped in one container all the potatoes, then it would be very difficult for you to differentiate ki which potatoes are from which farm, means which potatoes belong from Ram's farm or Rahim farm. One of the good friend of Ram, Mr. Rashid, he is in the market, he is a buyer, and if Ram just conveyed this thing to Rashid कि you just go and purchase my farm potatoes from the market, so it would be very difficult for Rashid to go and search for the potatoes which are produced from the Ram's farm and go and find out those potatoes only and then consume it, because potatoes, if we see the potatoes, all are same. You cannot differentiate the potatoes of one farm with another farm. So this is the very important feature of perfect competition. Perfect competition means homogeneous product. Homogeneous means identical in all respect, which is not at all possible in this real world situation. If we go to the market, if we go to greengrocer nowadays, he is also having the varieties of vegetables. There are two containers, and in two containers, two varieties of ladyfingers are there, and prices are also different. Although they are the vegetables only, they are both the ladyfingers only, but still there are some differences. So this is in real life situation identical in all respect for commodities are not at all exist. Perfect competition features means where there are large number of buyers and sellers, and they are here for purchase of homogeneous commodity. Homogeneous means identical in all respect, and they have perfect knowledge, means seller is also having a perfect knowledge about the other seller, what the other seller is doing, what the other seller is using for making the product. There are no barriers. No barriers means somebody is working in one farm and tomorrow he is working with another farm. Workers, the factors of productions are not attached to one farm. And even I add one more important feature which is not there in slide. Even buyers are not attached with one single seller. If we see our routine life, if we go and purchase something, we are very attached to one seller because he is giving us very good quality, he is giving us something different which other seller is not offering us. But in this market, buyer is not attached to a single seller because every seller is same in for him. He is purchasing from A, from Ram or from Rashid or from Rahim. All are same for him. There is no difference between Ram, Rahim. So therefore he is not attached to Ram or Rahim. He goes, sometimes he purchase from Ram and sometimes he go and purchase from Rahim. So this is the basic feature of perfect competition. Because the products are same, there is no need to have any sort of awareness. So there is no need to incur selling expenses, selling costs. There is no sort of advertisement. Why we do advertisement? Why we put hoardings on the road? Because something different is there in our product. But in this market, all products are same, all are identical in all respect. So there is no need to put hoarding. There is no need to have any sort of selling cost. I just explain you what are the selling costs. Selling cost means all those expenses which are incurred in promoting the sales of any commodity. In this market, all commodities are same, all products are same, so there is no need to incur any sort of selling cost. Another feature, absence of non-price competition. Why I am using non-price competition? Because if there is no difference there is no difference in price also. All are offering the single price. Single price means they are the price taker. Whatever the price is decided by demand and supply, all would have to accept it. And all the commodities are sold at the same price. Vegetables, you see, there is a variation of 1 or 50 paisa. If you go in market and when you negotiate, all prices will come to only one and ki this is the price. If you go nowadays and go and purchase mangoes, if you just inquire about from one seller, he says ki it is 35. You go to another, he says 40 rupees. Then you again, if you negotiate with the 40 rupees seller, he just say that the another seller is offering at 35 rupees. He also come down to 30 rupees and he just give it to you. So this is what.
There are different examples also, like say.
There are different examples.
Take example of milk, Mother Dairy. You purchase from either say one location or the other location.
Another
the price
location,
will be
yes,
exactly
price.
same.
Even other brands of milk.
Petrol, diesel, all these are exactly same. These are administered price. Whether you buy from one retailer or the other retailer.
Yes.
And also you will not see any advertisement for all these.
There are no advertisement because there is no similarities are not there. Similarities are there. If there are similarities, then we talk about the advertisement. We are doing advertisement, we are doing hoardings, we are putting hoardings on road because we want to give something new, something different to customers.
Exactly.
So this is real life situation. Perfect competition is not exclusively, but it is near to imaginary situation only nowadays, because nowadays in agricultural products also there are differences.
Exactly. Right. So if you talk about only the homogeneous product, we call it as a perfect competition.
Perfect competition.
And there can be many economic activities would be near to the perfect competition. The example which we have taken just now, milk, or say the diesel or the petrol. The prices of one state would be exactly similar if you take from one retailer to the other retailer. The difference of the prices of one state to the other state would be different because of some transaction costs, mainly the taxes and so on.
And regarding attachment of buyers are also, there is no attachment.
There is no customer loyalty, what we say.
Yes.
So you can buy petrol from one location, you can buy it to the other location at some other point. What we intend to say here is that the customers demand the product at the same price from the different sellers, whereas the sellers are only the price taker. They cannot influence any prices. If they decrease the price, that is a loss for them. Right? So
if they increase the price, then the buyers, they are very clever. They just switch on to another seller and they purchase. I just have given this one example ki if you go to any vegetable market, if suppose from the starting, just from the on the gate only, if you ask for if you inquired about mangoes, if somebody is offering at 45 rupees, you just go and just inquire about the second seller. If he is offering you at 30 rupees, then it would be you can go and switch to another seller only. So this is all about perfect competition. Now I just hand over the session to Dr. KB Singh. He will discuss about monopoly, which is the second half of this session, the monopoly market. And in the further session, we would discuss more about market, the more structures of market like monopolistic, oligopoly, duopoly. In this session, we would discuss the second half, that is your monopoly.
Okay. What just now Dr. Achug has said, the prime feature of the perfect competition is there are many sellers, there are many buyers, and the products are the homogeneous product. So these are the extreme ends. So if you are trying to take out some of the features, like instead of many sellers, if there is just one seller in the market, mono means one. If there is only one seller in the market, we call that as a monopoly. The product which are sold by the monopoly are also the unique product, which are not sold by any other sellers. A very good example is railways in India. Right? No other say transport company can offer railway services, only the Indian Railways. So Indian Railways are the true example of monopoly competitions. Some years ago, The telecom services, now we have say many private companies offering telecom services, but say a few years ago, about 15 years ago, we had only the state-owned company like BSNL and MTNL offering services, only monopoly. So only one seller in the market. Of course, there would be many buyers in the market. We cannot distinguish based on the buyers. The products which are offered by them are also the unique products. So how do we say that these are the monopoly? Probably because of certain conditions in the economy. The conditions may be exclusive license. So for example, one of the company may get the exclusive license to operate in India, so they can be called as near monopoly. And also, if there is no licensing part there, it can be based on certain barriers, and the barriers can be based on, say, probably you have exclusive, say, technological expertise, which no other firms, which no other sellers can have it, or it can be based on the massive financial, say, requirements. A company can be started only because of massive financial, requirements. Those can create monopoly. If you read the history of the industries, you'll find that there were few sellers of steel or say Siemens in the market, almost near to monopoly. And the other features of the monopoly, if you look at the slides, the other features of the monopoly, what we call just now as a massive financial requirement, the monopoly can also be created because there is little or no access of the raw materials. Only few people would have raw materials. For example, the nuclear energy in India or nuclear energy anywhere else, only few, the main ingredient, the uranium, is supplied by only few exclusive countries. So therefore, it can create the monopoly. The licensing part, if you have exclusive license or the law says that you can only produce goods, mainly the defense deals, all these are the origin from where the monopoly can come in India, right? So this is all about the monopoly. Features we already discussed. What are the features? If you read both perfect competition and the monopoly, you will be able to understand more clearly. Homogeneous product, perfect competition, single product, monopoly. Many sellers, perfect competition, single seller, monopoly. The price taker, what we call it as in the perfect competition, the seller can only charge the price which is evident in the market, whereas the monopoly can command any prices. They can increase or decrease prices, but again, if you recall the law of demand, the higher the price, lower would be the demand. So monopoly can sell the products based on the different prices, but they can have a control on the prices. So they are not the price taker as the perfect competition. They are the price charger. They can charge the price. They can command the prices. Shown you the slides of Indian Railways and the electricity company which are there in India. What we have done is we have defined the market. We have defined the market structure. We have explained the features of the market, and then at the end we have distinguished between both the market, which are important for you to understand.
So this time for our learners, this is a sort of exercise for you. You have to go and search in a market. You just have to have a survey in a market, and you just find out where still perfect competition is there. See, in terms of product, there is a perfect competition, but the services, the add-on services they are offering, they are making it a differentiated. If we talk about hospitals, means if we talk about at the time of independence, hospitals means all hospitals are same. Doctor means doctors, but nowadays even the profession of a doctor is differentiated. In the next session, we would discuss more about the differentiation, but this is the exercise for you. You just go and have a survey in the market and try to find out where still there is a monopoly or perfect competition. And you prepare a chart. You differentiate between the perfect competition and monopoly. What are the features of perfect competition as per market condition, and what are the features for monopoly as per market condition. Whatever we had given you, means me and Dr. KB Singh, that is all formal things, but what is as per market scenario and as per the market report. So in the next session we would discuss more about the market, And first, before we start the new structures, we would discuss about your assignments also. So try to complete your assignments. Okay, wish you good luck for this. And at the end, I would extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. KB Singh for sparing his valuable time for us, for giving us valuable means experiences regarding market, because he is a man of who know about everything about the market, because he is a man of economics as well as finance. So this is a very we can say for our learners, it's a good opportunity and a golden opportunity to have this sort of exposure from Dr. KB Singh. Thank you once again, Dr. KB Singh.
Thank you.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने,
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने,
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता